Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 59.
Alrighty then. Hi, my name is Talia. I'm also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Ravelry, Flirt, Instagram, Fitbit, and everywhere else.
I'm Marlisha. I'm also known as Lady Fernico on Ravelry, on Plurk, on Fitbit, and as Shadowlight1, or by my name on my writer sites, most of them. Welcome.
Yes, welcome to returning viewers, to new viewers, to everybody.
I do not believe we have new viewers this time. At
least
they haven't signed in yet.
Yes, not in the Ravelry group. Please join our Ravelry group.
Mm-hmm.
It might take me forever to respond, but
other people will.
Mom's a lot better than I am.
We have some pretty good welcome committee people there.
Yes, we do.
Nicole.
Yes.
Among others.
Yes. We can review. I am going to stop knitting and actually look at you.
Wow, what a concept.
I went to Maryland on Saturday. My godson got baptized. It was beautiful. He was very bewildered by the water. He didn't understand why Daddy was letting him have this cold stuff,
cold bath,
poured over his head, and why the priest is rubbing this smelly, oily stuff all over him. But he did very well. I was proud of him. He didn't cry like we all thought he would. He fussed later, but he didn't cry then. It was funny though. During the pictures everyone was taking, Josh had, the baby's dad, Josh had this grimace on his face. We're like, Josh, pretend you're happy. He's like, well, I'm concentrating on making sure he doesn't cry. I'm keeping him happy. It was like,
wow.
By grimacing at him, you're gonna frighten him.
New dad.
Yes. So he was very focused. But it took about 2.5 hours to get there. Stay there for a few hours, then 2.5 hours to come back, and then I spent Sunday mostly relaxing. Got to see Rawhide for the first time, which I thought was really cool. Really young Clint Eastwood.
That's how he looked.
Yeah.
He wasn't all that young, but he was pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, he was about 30, but he looked a lot younger than 30. Yeah, so my weekend review is basically going to Maryland and Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Not much for my weekend review. I spent most of it...
Grab drinks.
Yes. Hot or cold, I'm having my chai tea. Because it's actually...
a little chilly.
Yeah, it's a little chilly because it's been raining. So that's nice. Been humid and hot. But my weekend review has been basically getting my craft room, come writing area, come office set up. My husband and I, well, I had to pull everything off the shelves. I have a lot of yarn. I had to pull all my yarn and books out of my shelves so we can move that around and make it so the rug wouldn't do the creepy rug thing that it was doing. Now that it's actually firmly under the bookcases, it hopefully won't move anymore. But I'm happy with the way it is.
Alive.
Sometimes I think so. But yeah, that's basically, I mean, my Fitbit didn't have the corresponding activity level that I thought it should have for all the moving around, because I wasn't doing a lot of walking. It was a lot of lifting and carrying and stuff like that. But I got a lot done, so I was happy about that. Basically, the weekend review was spent moving boxes.
Woohoo.
With you there in spirit, Michelle. Okay, so
speaking of Michelle, this is going on order, but we don't really have an order anyway. Michelle, seriously, I was like, when you gifted me this goldenrod shawl.
This is Knit a Little from the Three Stitches podcast group.
Seriously, Michelle, when you gifted me the pattern for the goldenrod shawl, I was like, oh, it's cool, I'll make that. You know, I don't really wear shawls, so I'll wear it every once in a while. I have been wearing this thing obsessively all weekend. It's so just pretty. I'm not going to wear it over this. I was going to wear it for the podcast, but I got a little chilly, so I wore my fire cardigan instead. But, yes, Michelle, I've been wearing this obsessively.
It's so pretty.
It's pretty, and it's been just a little too warm up until today for wearing a sweater, so it's been perfect. So, yes, thank you. You have made me a shawl person because
That was her plan.
I really
Mwah.
didn't get the point of shawls.
I love shawls.
I'm still more inclined toward shawls like this one with a little bit of lace on the bottom and then stockinette, so I can maintain some warmth. I don't quite get the fully lacy shawls because I don't see how that keeps you warm.
For the summer and spring and the late fall.
Yeah.
Not late fall, early fall.
But
Late spring, summer, and early fall.
so a thank you again, many months in from the actual making and giving and receiving date. I am getting a lot more use out of it than I ever anticipated. So yes. Anything else for weekly reviewy kind
I don't
of?
think so. Not really.
Okay, so I guess that brings us into knitting.
Crocheting.
And crocheting. You have two, so you get to start.
Oh, joy of rapture. Oh, hold on. My hands are just a little bit sticky because I overfilled my teacup. The first thing I've been working on is my Sedna shawl. I call it the Colorful Dreams Project, and it's by Marilyn Lynx, and I've been knitting it for, it seems like, forever because I put it aside for a while. That's not the right bag. This is the bag. It's living in my Knitting's My Bag, Faith, Hope, and Love bag. And I've done quite a bit on this. I've done at least 6 rows on this since I last talked to you, maybe more. And I know I keep saying I gotta have to get one of those stopper things and change the cord out because it's getting too bunched up when I'm working on it. But so
And it's gonna be bunched up. It's just
yeah, but not doesn't have to be quite. I mean, when it's bunched up, even when I'm not working on it, I mean it's almost end to end, and it's only about a third to half the way through. So let's just do that. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. And it's the top of the shawl up here. I guess it's the top of the shawl up here. That's where I'm adding on to it anyway.
yeah, that'll be top. Okay.
And actually, this is the top and this is the bottom where it's growing, I think. This is the flat edge.
Oh, okay.
So it's getting there. I mean, I think I did maybe about an inch or two, maybe an inch and a half on the top here so you can see. And it seems like it's taking forever. That's because, like I said, I only pick it up when I can't do anything that requires concentration, and I don't feel like doing anything else. I mean, I love the project, but right now, believe it or not, it's my mindless knitting, mindless project. I just have to make sure that I remember to yarn over what I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that's usually the
so right. So that's basically what I do, and I am enjoying it. I'm just hoping that I can make a little more progress on it a little more quickly, so I can get it off my needle, so I can put something else on them. So that's basically my Sedna shawl, and you're next.
Well, I forgot. I was going to only have one work in progress to tell you about, but I actually have two because I picked this up when I reached the end of my row for my main project for the week. So I've probably only done a row and a half of since at all this week. This is Disco Nights. It's the Tortellino pattern by Valentina Coschiani. There's an Italian name if you ever heard one.
Pretty nice.
And I'm using US 2 needles. And the yarn is Wild Hair Fiber Studio, Pinnacle Fingering, in the Neon Lights colorway. Yeah, it's very. There is a cable along here, but it's kind of hard to see because of the color work. Well, not the color work, but the way the colors are striping. That's fine. I wanted to use this yarn, and the cable was kind of like a bonus. I'm okay if it doesn't show up. It was more for fun than for anything else. I wanted something mindless to work on when I started this, and this is pretty mindless. except for when I'm doing a twist, then I have to pay a little bit of attention. But I'm at repeats until it's a certain length. So that's what I'm doing. It's going to be pretty mindless from.
Well, it's basically stockinette, isn't it?
Until I have to do the cables. I mean, there's at the markers. There's, I think this is a free pattern, so I think I'm okay saying stuff. There's a couple of pearls where the cable would be.
Yeah, I think even if it wasn't a free pattern, you could say that. You're not saying where it is or how many there are.
Yeah.
Or what the repeat pattern is. You're just saying that there are some pearls.
But yeah, it's. I think it was a free pattern, and the yarn came from my stash, so it's like a free. Actually, and the yarn from my stash was a gift.
Unless you counted the one you bought.
Yeah, well, I think I'll have to use both because I don't think there's quite enough. Yeah, I don't think there's quite enough yardage.
Right.
Which is good because I want to use as much of the yarn that I have as I can. So it'll probably end up a little larger than what they tell me. Not to mention, I mean, when you look at it, it's a little bit small.
Right.
I want it bigger than that. I guess if I was nice, I'd show you guys.
But she's not, so she doesn't.
You see, that's a little small for my liking.
Pretty good size, though.
Yeah, I'll have to see when I get to that point. When I measure and I get to that point, if I like it that length, if I want to go a little longer.
When I think of a cow, I think of like your other one.
Yeah, well, they're calling it a cow. I really think it was a poncho.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like to me, and I'll probably end up making more of a poncho length. Because I think that's what I really want. So it'll become a poncho.
That's the good thing about knitting and crocheting as opposed to buying.
Yes.
You can make it what you wish. Because our wishes are of every consequence.
And you can make it suited for your particular size. Okay, your turn.
Okay, I have one more on the hooks and needles. This is my living also in a. This is my bag, my Serret bag, my Monet bag.
Oh, I forgot to tell what my bag was.
Okay.
Sorry. Kathy, I'm using it. Kathy913 from the Knit Nerd podcast had given me this bag because I had won it on her giveaway for her Afghan Squares prize drawing.
It really is bigger than it looks, too.
Yeah, so that's what it looks on the outside. And then on the inside.
The amoeba bag.
You got the purple. Yeah, it looks kind of like amoebas, even though I know it's supposed to be flowers.
Amoeba bag. Amoebas are cute.
So it is getting usage. And I developed this habit of just folding over the top and sitting it down like I do with the slips. Yeah, with the Ploverbird bags, just because it's a habit.
Yeah. Okay. Mine is living, as I said, in my knitting my bag, sweater bag. It's the Serret bag, which I call my Monet bag, and this is the Lady Blue sweater. It's an eyelet yoke cardigan pattern.
Cardigan.
The eyelet yoke cardigan pattern by Linda Perlman. And it was a gift from Talia to make. And I did a lot of work on this.
The colors are showing up really well, I think.
The what?
Colors.
Yes. I'm using Knitpicks Sport Weight for this. It's I couldn't get gauge with the worsted, and I also had to drop down a couple of hooks from I think an H to an F. But this is the I think this is the yoke part of it, and I'm going into the right around the lower part of the shoulders, the upper part of the shoulders before it goes in the back. And after this particular row, I think I have 2 more rows before I start the sheaves. Golly, what did you put in my tea?
I was in here.
The sleeve shaping. I think I have a couple more rows before I start the sleeve shaping. But this is, you can see the pattern. The yoke. And then I do not, in fact. I don't know if they can see that because I can't see.
I can't see either.
This way. You can see this part is the top near the neckline, and then here we're heading into the shoulders and back. So has not yet I took this with me today to the eye doctor when I went to take Davina to the eye doctor and did a couple rows or a row and a half. People look at you and they don't say anything. They just kind of look at you. But I got a fair amount done with that.
They're just jealous that they don't have a hobby that they can bring with them. So they're forced to read boring magazines and watch inane TV.
There was no TV today.
Well, then they didn't even have that. So you were the entertainment. They're jealous.
Yeah, I think I gave you all. The colorway is the Solstice colorway, and I really like it a lot. I never thought I would like doing a sweater, but I actually do. They've always scared me. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, just random. It just occurred to me because I was marking off my row. What do you guys do to keep track of your rows? Not because I'm looking for a new method, because I know it works for me. I'm just curious. What do you guys do in a pattern to keep track of what row you're working on? Me, I get one of these little notebooks.
Yep. Or to be more accurate, I buy you a whole bunch of those notebooks for Christmas.
Yes, well, I do buy them for myself as well. And then I mark down, like for example, section 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the little numbers outside the brackets are how many times I'm supposed to repeat those rows 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could almost lose my pattern and still know where I'm at if I've memorized the rows that I'm repeating.
See, I get into more detail than that. I need to know what is being said. So when I do mine, I'll explode it out. Well, you can't see it on this one, but I will break down the first set of directions into line by line, because I'm serious. I cannot keep track if I don't have line by lines. And on this one, I'm actually marking. You can see the check. I don't want to show you the whole pattern. This is just part of it. I don't know if you can see the check marks over each part. Normally, I will write that out, split it out, and then I will do something like she's done. Section 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will go and cross it out.
Now, what I also sometimes do, and I don't have the pattern there that I do it, the Vivian pattern, it's got so many charts within one row that I will, so row 1 is huge. I will break each step down, but I won't write it down, write it out. I have numbers in the pattern. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and then it's almost like that's rows now.
Right.
And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, like I do here.
See, I don't know. I don't have dyslexia or anything, but I don't know if it's the print or my eyesight's getting worse as I get older, but I really have to have either more space or a little.
Oh, you would hate the Vivian pattern the way that it's written then.
Yeah,
because it's all like this.
Yeah, I have to have or color coded or something that makes me say, hey, this is something different.
But so yeah, I was just curious what people do, because it just occurred to me. Because I've had coworkers be like, oh my gosh, they see my thing here. That looks so complicated. I'm like, actually, that's the broken down.
My husband, he looks at our notes and he looks at our patterns and stuff, and he's like, that looks awful. And he's a computer programmer, and he's like, that looks horrible. You know? Yes. But, yeah.
So, yeah, that was just a little side tangent, because I was just curious what different people do, how their brains work, what works for them. And I'm going to purl twice. And then I can just knit till the end till the next marker. Okay. And actually, I'm not going to knit to the next marker, because I am going to, in actuality, pull out my next project after I knit a few more stitches.
She said she wasn't going to knit. She was going to look at you, and she lied to you.
No, I never intended not to knit during the podcast. I can't sit that long without my hands moving. I feel like my hands are idle, and I don't like having my hands idle. If I have to pay attention, I can put it down, but I feel like my hands are idle if I'm sitting too long without them doing something. And I always have had a tendency to play with things. Before I started to knit, I would play with things, and Mom used to tell me that I would break stuff. And that she knew it all. She had an aunt who used to break.
No, not an aunt. A great aunt.
A great aunt that used to break everything.
Get it right.
I can't remember. It was some person that I never met
I never met her.
I'm wondering if Grandma made her up. But
I tell Grandma that you called her a fibber.
Fibber
McGee.
It was
Fibber.
I'm saying that she was like Jesus insofar as she made a parable.
Oh, Jesus is made up now?
Wow! That is not what I said. I said that she, like Jesus, used parables.
Ooh, you are
and that your great aunt was a parable. Your great aunt was a parable.
So much trouble.
You totally twisted that.
So much trouble.
You twisted that. Okay, in the Batman bag by Ploverbird. Okay, Bruce. In the Batman bag.
Now he has to kill you. And all the viewers.
He doesn't kill.
He'll get hunters to do it.
He doesn't do that.
He will manage you.
Okay, so Batman. And he looks crooked there.
Yes.
There we go. Now his face looks like it's not weird. This project is called Mr. Rogers' Pretty Five. It's the Antler cardigan by Tin Can Knits. I'm using US 5 needles, and that's used for like ribbing and stuff like that. And US 7s for the main pattern. The yarn is Knit Picks Brava Worst in the red colorway. And I've been using, actually, I have down that I used just one class. I'm ending up using 2 crafty classes for this. The main one I've used is the Knit to Flatter class by Amy Herzog, because this is a pattern that does not have shaping to it. It has like 7 child sizes and 8 adult sizes. So it's a very basic, you have the very beautiful, the very pretty cabling across the yoke, but it's a straight sweater, no shaping. So I added shaping. And then I used the button bands class on buttonholes and button bands class on Crafty, and I'm not sure who teaches that. I can't remember. Very useful class. I always found how and where to pick up stitches for button bands to be a bit of a challenge. This was very difficult to figure out, and I think that's why sometimes it kind of but
I have that class on my wish list.
It's a very, very useful class. Both of them, actually. So, this sweater, if I don't have to start another ball of yarn, which I don't think I will, this sweater will have cost me $15. The pattern was free, and the yarn, actually, if I want to be technical, I got 1 yarn free. So it would be like $14.
We only paid $1 for yarn?
Oh, sorry. No.
$12.
$12, yeah. So, very cheap sweater. Of course, a lot of effort put into it. But, if we aren't counting labor, this isn't labor, this is fun. But I don't tell people that who want me to make them stuff. Okay, so... Did I say the... Yes, I did. Okay. As always, the thing fell off the needles because it does that.
Mine do that too.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, all different yarn strands that are coming out. It is the right length, which I was terrified between Mom and Snooks going, oh yeah, it looks a little short. I was like, oh no!
Snooks, we succeeded!
So, it is long enough. I am going to make the button band. It was going to be 1.5 inches. That's what my size told me to do. I'm going to do 2 inches. The buttons I want to use, they told me to use 3/4 buttons. Let me pull out the buttons I want to use. The buttons I want to use are about 1 inch. And these buttons were actually free too. Oh, we found them diving.
I found them.
Diving through boxes.
Grandma gave them to me. And I
Are you sure these weren't from my
no,
button collection?
They were my stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, these are the perfect buttons. Because I looked at the ones I had that were 3/4 in my stash that were similar to this. And they were like a creamy color with this little thing across. You know, that little thing that's the little white thing that's across there. It's dark in the other button. So it was like cream with a
It
dark.
was like reverse.
It was reversed, yeah. And it was pretty, and it was the right size, but I didn't want it for the sweater. I'd fall in love with these. So I'm just gonna make the buttonhole a little, the buttonhole a little bigger, make the button band a little wider, and that'll also make it so the sweater, it's fitted, but not, super fitted.
You don't want it to be bulgy.
And, whoopsie, there we go. So I really like it. There's still holes under the underarms. I need to Kitchener there. So yeah, my only thing is after I Kitchener, if the sleeves, like right now, I'm not sure if the sleeves are quite long enough. I thought they would be, but if they aren't, I'll just pick out the bottom and add more. I'm hoping it'll be longer.
Well, you know what happened probably is when you did all the
cables
up there, you ate up some of your yarn.
Yeah.
Might be alright.
And I'll have to see once I try it on after I Kitchener the underarms, because I'm kind of afraid to tug on it on the sleeves too much with the underarms still open. So yeah, in the middle of the button band. This is the non-button.
Show them the detail from the top.
This is, let's turn it around.
There, now you can see it. Isn't that gorgeous? Watch the T.
Yes. So this is the Antler cable.
I think it's gorgeous.
It's very easy to memorize. Although I did one section at work which I had to completely take it back because I wasn't paying attention and I skipped ahead 2 rows. But that was easily. These rows worked so quickly.
I like that you have such a big needle.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, it was the cables worked very quickly.
Oh yeah.
I do have one section right.
You could almost call that "Be My
here.
Valentine."
Yeah, I have one section right here where I did the wrong cable, but it's such a small section. I don't do it anywhere else. By the time I noticed it, I wasn't gonna rip back. So it's a design feature. It's only in one spot. It's kind of hidden behind this right arm here. So it's fine.
Pretty.
I'm really happy with it.
Very, very pretty.
I'm also happy that it is almost at a point where I can wear it. I'm going to put it over here. I'll not work on this right now. I'm going to continue working on what I've been working on. But I'm hoping to start the other button band tonight. I would love to finish them tonight. As soon as I get done with the podcast, I'll go back to knitting on that.
I have to make brownies because my other daughter is having guests, and I told her I'd make brownies, so I'll do that while she's knitting because she's going to come in and talk to me.
Yes, I will.
Okay, FOs? FOs. I have 4 FOs today. How many do you have? 1, 2, 1. Okay. Do you want? Okay. I finished.
That means you precede me by really much.
This
thunder. A little thunder, a little lightning.
Oh, that's just right. Okay. This is my Slip Stitch Studio owl bag, the large one, and it's holding my Augustine baby blanket, which I have finished. And I thank Scarves Etc. for the nice comment. She went by my project page and saw it even before I posted it anywhere. So I thank her for that.
I haven't actually seen it finished because I was in Maryland. Oh, very nice.
So what I did was...
These make me think of, like, white chocolate.
Yeah, kind of. I can't... Can they get the fact I can't see it?
I think they can.
This was originally supposed to be like this and much bigger.
Yeah.
And much bigger. But I didn't want it to be so big for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose in retrospect, I could have done it this way, but I'm not sure it would have looked as nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I fiddled around with the hearts for a while. The hearts were easy. I mean, the only thing that was hard about it was I had to do 12 of them. And I did follow the pattern as much as I could. I had a different number of squares, so it was harder to place the hearts. But this is a fun pattern, and I could potentially see myself doing the regular size of this in colors for our house. It is called, it is the Be My Valentine Throw pattern by Rosanna Beck. I think it's a free pattern, which I was grateful for because I went through more blanket patterns for this, for Elizabeth and James. I just, would buy them, I'd toss them out. This one finally worked. And it's not a baby blanket. I just made it a baby blanket. This one, I used a G hook and an H hook for this, and the Brava Nipix Brava Sport in the Dublin and Fairy Tale colorways and the cream colorway, so it matches with the project that Talia did for the bear and the sweater for the baby.
I need to put the buttons on the sweater now that I have the proper needle size.
Yeah. And it, like I said, right now it's living in my slip stitch studio bag, so it doesn't get dirty until we have the time to put them together in a package for Elizabeth, although she is coming out here.
Yeah, well, I figure when she has her baby shower.
Yeah.
Because I want to see her face.
Well, I won't be there probably, so you're going to have to take it for me.
Well, there's no guarantee that she wouldn't invite you, though, because right. Elis has always been very good about, ever since college, Elis is very connected to our family.
Yeah, she has been. She's been
ever since the first moment that she took the phone from my hand.
Yes. Who's this? Me. Who's me? Elizabeth.
Who are you?
Where's my daughter?
What happened was, my freshman year of college, was I still in the basement? I think I was still in the basement.
Yes.
Because I wasn't rooming with Mel yet.
No, you were still rooming with Casey.
Yeah, so I lived in the basement of our dorm. Well, not the basement. It was the bottom floor. It was basically a basement. And I was by the laundry room and all that. So I would see people walking by for their laundry, and I would keep my door open because college was a new experience, and I wanted to see people. So I was talking to Mom on the phone before I had a cell phone. I actually used the landline.
Oh, dark ages.
And Elis, who I'd only met like once or twice at that point, walked by, saw me talking on the phone, plucked the phone from my hand, and started talking to my mom. Yes, the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, she didn't know how beautiful when things like I yell at her for putting her personal information on Facebook and stuff like that.
She meant like phone number.
Phone number, yes. I don't mean like she was, I'm single and I'm available. No, no, just her phone number. I was giving her a hard time. She said, your mom yelled at me.
With complete glee.
And she invited us to the wedding, so I was very happy when we came. We were very pleased. Even my husband said, you know, Elizabeth, we wouldn't do this for just anybody.
Yeah, because she's in Cincinnati, so that was quite a trip.
For a wedding.
For a wedding. Yeah. Now, I was in the wedding party.
That also helped, yeah.
Yeah. But yes.
I have, you want me to do one more?
Yeah, do one more and then I'll do mine.
Okay. This was a whim. I wanted to do something to finish. This is...
she's having a severe issue where she just is avoiding longer projects.
This is Candy, the crab. And she was a free pattern.
I want candy.
See, she hugs
candy.
Too. Yes, she does. This is a fun pattern. It's by Eden Dincicos, I think is how you say it. Dincicos? I'm sorry if I butchered that. Eden Dincicos. Candy the Crab, which is the amigurumi crab pattern by Eden Dincicos. I crocheted it with an H hook, 5mm, and Red Heart Super Saver Solids. Red, as you could tell. I think I did a little something wrong on one of these pincers, but now it's a design. It's a mistake-ification. And
she says one's bigger than the other.
Yeah. And I truly enjoyed making this. I mean, I put this thing together and Davina says, Mom, are you making another smiley face? It made me happy to look at this smiley face while I was making the rest of the body. And I think it only took me 2 days to finish.
Yeah, she went very quickly.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, this made me happy. And it may or may not be here tomorrow. When Davina's friend's coming over, I have so many stuffed toys, I might give her a choice of a couple of them, see what she takes. But that's Candy.
Okay, and I have an FO. I can't give any details, really. I can give very basic, and that's it. This is a test that is actually still in progress. Mine is finished, but the testing is still in progress. This is a Patrick Moose pattern. It's called Ambrose the Badger, and I can at least say what colors I used and what hook, but I don't think I can say anything else.
Right.
I used a USG hook just because I've noticed it's worked really well with other times that I've used her patterns.
That's a G. You didn't use the H? Oh, that's pretty good size.
USG, because that worked really well when I made the cavity. I used I used Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And the color is Black and Gray Mist. And then I also used Red Heart Super Saver Solids in the colorway White. That's all I can really give you in details. I'm not doing my normal back loops only. And actually, it turned out pretty well.
That might be why she's a little bit bigger too, because usually we do back loops.
No, usually back loops is bigger. Back loops is bigger, Mom.
I haven't done it so long, and the other way.
Back loops is bigger, yeah. So if I had done back loops only, she would have been huge. It's not much bigger as back loops only. But this is Billy. She is.
Bill.
No, her name is Billy.
Bill.
She said her name is Billy. She's a badger, as you can see.
And she moves.
Yes. And there are, well, I'm not sure if I can say that. So.
Yeah, you have to wait a little longer for the pattern to be released. But
yes.
We love Kate E. Hancock's patterns. I know she laughs because I call her Katie.
And I asked Kate if I could show Billy on the podcast, and she said yes.
She's adorable.
Billy. So, hug me. Up. So this is my first one with the movable legs.
Yeah, it's very cute. I like it a lot.
There she is.
That's adorable. You should have seen how much she was making though, because things sticking up here and there and everywhere, and
yeah,
it was funny. And my husband thought at first it was a skunk.
Well, not just from the picture.
From the picture, not from the pattern, from the work in progress. Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. This one I did yesterday. It's a cup cozy. It's a, well, you can see, because this, I got tired of burning my hand on this when I have my chai tea because it's metal. And it took me about maybe an hour or two to make this. I left off the one wing here. I didn't want to have that. It's bulky enough without having wings on the side. I can carry it just fine like this. But it does keep my hand from getting hot, and it keeps, I think it helps even more to keep the drink inside hot or cold. I used the, I love this yarn, neons in the fuchsia, the green, the blue, the yellow. The white and the black are scrap yarn. I don't know if it's I love this yarn or Red Heart or what it is. And I think, which I used a, let me see what the hook size was. F hook and an I hook. The I hook for almost everything, and I used the F for the for some of the smaller pieces. And like I said, it went really fast. It was a fun pattern. I think this would make a great gift. And this is a free pattern. It's by I call it the Hoo Hoo Cozy, and it's the Hoo Hoo Cozy from the Owl Cup Cozy pattern by Jessica Marini. Okay, and you should check it out. She's got some really cute patterns if you like this. And this one is free.
Just a quick last note on the Badger. The testing for this ends on the 30th. So I'm guessing that the pattern itself will come out sometime in August.
Probably, yeah.
So this is a very fun pattern.
And we keep an eye on Kate because she just pops them out real fast.
Yes, she does.
And they're just all adorable.
And it's very hard to get into her testing. Mom got me in by the skin of my teeth.
Actually, I was like the third one. I said, you know, I can't do it myself. Can I hold a place for Talia? She knows our schedule and she works with us. So it was very nice. My last work in progress, I'm wearing it. I mean, not my work in progress. My last FO, I'm wearing it. This is my Serenity project. It's the Cal Poncho Easy Breezy Ponchette pattern by Alasasha. And I used a J hook to make this. in Mini Mochi's Neptune colorway. It's a sock yarn, and I used like 3 1/3 skein, so probably a little over 500 yards, maybe 530 yards or something like that. I wanted it a little bit longer. You can see in the front, it goes almost down to my waist, and in the back, and then it's a nice comfortable um, size for weather that's not too hot, not too cold. I will probably take it off in a minute because I'm getting hot with my tea and I don't want to spill my tea on it. But
turned out very well.
this is and I didn't really. I went stash diving. I had this yarn for over a year, and Talia bought me the pattern, so I didn't spend anything on it. So that was really nice, and I love it. Davina already wants me to make her one, so I really like it. It's very comfortable, and I enjoyed making it, and I probably will make it again.
I really like it.
I like it like that.
I'm actually thinking of a song from Man of La Mancha.
I know you're not thinking of the song. I just had to say it because I wanted to. So that's all my finished objects. I was a little busy this week, and happy that I got some things done. Oh, this is living right now in my perfect little teapot.
Well, it's not going to live there anymore.
Well, it is right now.
You're going to make it live in a bag?
Until I can find a nice place to put it away in. So
You're going to make it live in a bag. That's so sad.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
You have tea on your nose.
That's like a tea on my top of my thing here. I need to put something on top. It's this thing that's tea on my nose.
Yeah, like it's right on the bridge of your nose.
That's okay.
Okay, so, just a random note since Mom talked about what she's wearing. This is well, it's not really a cardigan, but it's a fire cardigan. It was supposed to be a cardigan, then I messed up the zipper, and it became a pullover.
I made that a long time ago.
About a year?
About a year, yeah.
No, not quite a year.
About 8 months ago, yeah.
Because, it was finished after retreat. I was working on it at retreat last year, but it wasn't quite done yet because I hadn't even added the sleeves yet. I was doing the decreases for this back here because I messed up the decreases. I did the wrong kind of decrease, so it's more open than it was supposed to be. But that's okay. And I don't think I was okay. So all right. So next I think is obsession.
Do we have stash enhancements?
Oh, we'll go ahead with stash enhancement. That's perfect because I needed to focus on this twist.
Yeah, stash enhancements. Most of mine are not physical except for this one. Melski, who is single-handed knits, has developed a shawl. And
actually, she's Emski Knits, and her podcast is Single Handed Knits podcast.
Okay. What's her name? Her name is Mel.
Emski Knits.
Okay. I watch her podcast all the time. I can never keep it straight. Mel from Single Handed Knits has developed a shawl, and she's going to be doing a knit-along cowl for the shawl. It's not really a mystery shawl, except that we don't know what it is. So, I mean, it's not like going to be. I don't think it's going to be given out with clues. I'm not sure what she's doing. She says it's not strictly speaking a mystery cowl, but anyway, it's called the Mackay.
Yeah, it's called Mackay.
The Mackay, which I think means the sea. I'm not positive. She explains it, but I don't remember. And so I looked in my stash, and I saw blue, but it was really pretty, called Deep Waters Knit Picks. But I've been working a lot of deep blue. I looked on Knit Picks on their what's it called? Their tonal, their stroll fingering, and I found this Pacific tonal, which I was watching her podcast, and it was exactly like this. The sky and the ocean and everything was exactly like this. But I'm not sure, the colors aren't quite true. That looks a little bit darker with the blue. There's a lot of teals in here as well as the blue, and it's not coming across real well. But this is really, really pretty, and this is what I'm going to do, I think. I'm kind of nervous. At least Mel is very low-key about it. You don't have to finish it in the 3 or 4 weeks that it takes for her to get out.
It took me forever to finish the whole aloha.
Yeah, and she's very supportive and very sweet. So I'm figuring if I'm going to do a knitting cow other than the one I did with Kelly Menzies, who's Keitel, um, I would like to do it with Mel.
And Mel usually provides videos. She's very supportive. I thoroughly enjoyed working the Hoaloha.
So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to get some of my things off. That starts in August, and I would kind of like to have my sweater as far along as possible before that happens. So I have a choice of things to wear both to my retreat in September and to the Shenandoah Fiber Festival in September. So
okay, 1 second. Seriously, gotta love the color.
What are you doing?
Showing the yarn.
Oh, okay.
Gotta love the colors. I knew what I was doing.
I had no clue what you were doing.
Well, that's because you're you.
Well, yes, I'm quite glad that
see,
you know
look at
that.
the awesomeness of those colors.
You can't really see it.
Yeah, they can.
There you go. Now they can see it.
Okay. It just strikes me every time. It makes me incredibly happy when I see the yarn snaking out. Okay, start go on.
Okay, the other stash enhancements I have, Craftsy, I don't know if you all know about it, and if you don't, they're having a 75%, up to 75% off select classes.
Yeah, I fell down and couldn't get up.
Yeah, me too. I think they've extended it today. I think I saw in my inbox at 3 a.m. this morning that they're extending it out through today. And I believe what it is you buy a class, and the class is cut. They have all these classes that are cut, and depending on what you get, you'll get other classes that you can get like for percentage off. I picked up 3 classes. I picked up Knit the Original Cuff Down Socks for $9.99, and then I picked up Joining Crochet Motifs and Crochet Lab Basic Techniques and Patterns. And the reason I picked up the Basic Techniques and Patterns, I kind of taught myself to crochet, and I want to make sure I understand the concepts better, so that when I'm doing things, if I design something or if I want to change something, to fix something, make it work properly for me, I want to know what I'm doing, because you really can't change something until you understand how it works better. So I'm looking forward to that. I got the 2 crochet ones together. One was my primary, and the other one popped up. In fact, what I think I got was the Crochet Motifs, which was a new class. And anybody who watches this fairly often knows I have kind of a love-hate relationship with squares and motifs. I really like the way they look. I hate doing them. And so I picked up that.
And hence she picked up a class to do it.
Exactly. And
because that's logical.
I picked it up, and in the hopes that a class that I wanted, which was the Basic Techniques, which had been one of the offered ones on sale, would pop up again, and it did on sale. So I picked that up. And then I just picked up the Knit the Original Cuff Down Socks singly, because what popped up with that I didn't want. There was too much money involved, and I'm not ready for it. But it's taking all my willpower not to go back, because there are other things I want. I picked up free classes there as well, pizza making and something about sewing in zippers, and
where did I have it?
Yeah, and then another one on
I have one on cake.
Sewing machine feet. I have that too. Sewing machine feet. Craftsy is great. If you haven't had the chance, you should check it out for the classes and take advantage of the sale that's on before it goes away.
Limited time. Oh. Is that all your...
That's all my stash enhancements, I think.
Be interesting for a couple more minutes. I have to finish my twist.
I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean,
Mom,
she just kind of goes, here, keep going. Okay.
Make up stuff.
Writing?
There we go. Good. Good. Talk about writing.
Yes, writing. I haven't done much in the way of writing.
You know what? You suck.
Excuse me? I did, actually my writing gets kind of blurred because of the weekend, and I'm never sure if I've done it in one week or the other, so I could have done as little as 200 words, or I could have done as much as 1,000 to 1,200 words to the shared story.
Tell about obsessions.
And, well, yeah. Let me finish my writing.
Okay, good. Good. Whatever eats more time. Good.
I'm almost finished with, well, I am finished with reaction pieces, I think. for Talia's stuff and writing original materials, I have to go back and revisit characters that got neglected before I can pull it all together.
Do they understand necessarily how the shared story works?
Shared story is interesting. Somebody starts off the writing, and then the other person writes to it, their characters interacting with the original characters of the first piece. And so that's how it goes back and forth like that, and you cut things and you add things. And when we finally have to pull this together, it's going to be a nightmare because it's all different points of view and all this kind of stuff. And internal thinks, which is, the little thought bubble things, and telepathy and all this other kind of stuff. It's going to be interesting when we have to finally pull it together. But essentially, it's like having drama in writing because you're working with two different people. So you don't already know what the characters are going to do. All the characters are going to do because they're not all your characters. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of like playing.
It's kind of like role playing.
Yeah, it's kind of like role playing. It's very addictive and fun.
Okay, I stopped doing my twists and be as interesting as
all right.
you please.
Well,
we can still go to obsessions.
Obsessions, yeah. Craftsy, definitely. An obsession.
Yes.
And getting the house back in order was a major obsession since we've been back from Florida, which has been, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
I'm not really quite sure how long it's
been. We've been working at getting this house. We still have a few boxes in the front room, and
not from Florida.
Not from Florida, from things that were displaced and that we got rid of and all that kind of stuff.
Because that was from the air conditioning.
Yeah, I may have a couple of things that I may put up for de-stash. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it because I didn't realize how much stuff I had. But yeah.
Yeah, I have like 20 million sweaters worth of yarn. Although I bet by the way that I guess her name is Just Run It on Ravelry.
Yes.
The way that Megan talks from Stockinette Zombies, I bet she beats me out because she says that she just buys sweater amounts of yarn obsessively.
Megan,
and I'm like, I get that.
I think Megan is a charter member of Stashaholics Anonymous.
Well, because she's I'm bad with the sweater yarn. I totally get that. But she's also bad with the
sock yarn.
Sock yarn. And not any sock yarn. The self-striping sock yarn. They started a knit-along just for so that she can get rid of self-striping yarn.
She makes me laugh.
Oh, I love them.
They're funny.
If you haven't watched the Stockinette Zombies before,
it's really funny because Amy's so low-key, and Megan is like Megan.
She's blonde. She's blonde. I love you, Megan.
She makes me laugh. She really does. I think her name kind of says it all. Just Run It. She's full of energy. I think she's special. And Amy's she's just what I never can remember what Amy's name is because she says
Janitma.
Why is it Janitma? What does that mean?
It's J. I'm not sure what the J is, but knit is actually spelled like knit. And then it's Ma.
I thought it was Jane.
No, J, knit, Ma.
Oh, Jane, knit, Ma. Okay, got it.
So I'm not sure what the J stands for, but the other part is knit and Ma.
So for all this time, I had this really erroneous idea of what her name was. So I had this whole, I went through a whole personality revision on Amy because it's all her fault because she goes, Janitma. And I'm like, she makes me laugh. She just sits back and does her thing, just low key, and I love watching her talk about the stuff for her sweaters and her modifications.
A lot of times,
she blocks
her sweaters are the ones that I want to make.
Amy's?
Amy's. Yes. I'm like, this one, the one over here.
Well, if you look at the thing, that's Megan. Megan's the blonde in there.
Yeah, but I'm pointing at the way they're looking at us.
Yes.
And the way they're looking at...
If we were sitting here, I would be Megan, or would I be Amy?
You would be Megan.
Maybe Megan.
Because I'm looking at us, and you would be Megan, and I would be Amy. That's about right for the height, too. You're shorter than I am. But she likes longer sleeves and things like that, and then
I like the longer sleeves, too.
And then Amy will run out of yarn and do a shorter sleeve.
Yeah, I'll stop now.
Which is great. She she's a lot more flexible than I'll ever be.
I would love to see. I want, and I shouldn't say this about this. If she ever does watch our podcast, I did invite them. Well, I invited Amy when I was talking to her about the Hobbs pattern. And I told her to invite Megan too. And so if they watch us, she's gonna. I want to see her run out of yarn and do a bolero or something.
I'm sure she's done it.
I'm sure she has. She makes me. I love
She's
her
so
flexibility.
flexible.
I love
She's
her
so
flexibility.
flexible. It's great. I could never be quite that flexible.
She makes me laugh. The whole podcast makes me happy. So.
Oh, it does. I look forward to them every single week. They should be having one come up pretty soon, I hope. But
they've been doing so many with the Apocalypse or whatever it was called.
Well, they're done with that now.
Right, but what I'm saying is they did so many in a row that I don't know if they're gonna now. I don't know exactly what their schedule was because
I can't remember.
But
yes, that is your little Stockinette Zombies random
plug.
I
don't know what that was. Obsession. That's what it was. Obsession.
Oh, God.
I don't know. No, I don't know. But yeah, if you haven't checked them out, you should. Even if you don't knit much, I don't knit much yet, and I like them. They're fun, and they're inspiring, and they're very, very sweet. So.
Alrighty. So, anything else?
I just wanted to thank my husband, who does not watch the podcast, so I have no idea why I'm thanking him on the podcast, except that he deserves to be thanked because he's been pulling boxes out and pulling shelves around and just a lot of the heavy work so I could get my room in order. And
he did, for a while, have our podcast on his queue. And then he looked at how long it was and was just like...
Yeah, he doesn't like to sit still.
No, he's just like, what do you guys talk about for an hour?
So there's two of us. It's only half an hour.
Like, Dad, we talk about knitting. Some people talk for an hour by themselves. He just sort of looked at us and he was like... and he... Because I think he had fully intended to see what we podcasted about until he saw how long it was.
Well, he still downloads them or uploads them or whatever it is you do to get them on the computer. He just hasn't watched them, and he may look at some of the half-hour ones sometime. Because we do have some, but not many.
Not many. This one's a little long, but I fully expected it to be long this time around because of the fact that Mom had so many FOs.
Yeah, for FOs.
Because Mom was like super FO person this week. Anything else? We still don't know where we are yet with the Potiversary yarn. I'm sure that Kim's still working on it.
Well, I know the dye was finished. That was done a while ago, and I think because she did it was a fairly good size order. So I think that she's probably doing the finishing touches because I think we said
whatever the heck that is because I have no idea what you do with that.
No, I don't know.
Yarn. I don't know. The process.
And I know, but I do know that she's very quick when she does it. So, and we had said probably the end of July or the beginning of August. So it should be coming in pretty soon. We should be hearing from her quickly in the near future. And I'm excited about that.
I never did open that thread.
Yeah, we need to do that. If you don't open it, I'll have to open it. About when your yarn arrives, and then we'll have to open the thread for the whips and FOs for that, and that will probably run.
And I'm going to do what I think a lot of some of the podcasters are doing is I'm not going to bother a chatter only or non-chatter only.
Right.
You know what, chatter? If I hit your number in a thingy-mabloggy,
we'll just do another one.
We'll just do it again in the random number generator. Because you know what? People want to hear. How else are we going to get people to interact and be like, oh, I really like that project?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if we just have one thread where you can chatter or not chatter as much as you want.
Yeah, the work is for us, so it doesn't matter. We don't care. We might have to do the rest.
The work is for me. What are you talking about?
Don't. Yeah, really?
I'm the one who random number generates.
Only because you're a pain in the behind.
How is that logical?
It's always logical. Stop it! Don't tear my thing.
I'm not touching your thing.
You are, in fact.
I'm not.
Stop it.
See, my hands aren't touching.
I'm going to break your finger.
You need to pay attention.
I'm going to break your finger.
You were being very rude. You need to pay attention to them.
Listen to this person. this thing here in the yellow, orange, red.
Fire.
She's burning.
On fire.
Anyway, I think we would about the Potiversary, but seriously, we will. I think it'll probably start close to the beginning of August, the way things are going, maybe the end of July. And we'll probably go either to the end of August or the first week of September, and then we'll work from there.
And then I'll probably become an monogamous for a little bit on Zuzu's Petals, because I'd kind of like to have that done for a retreat. It's so pretty, and I'd love to go and be like, they dyed this yarn.
Yes.
See.
I'll have to bring my brontosaurus with me.
Walk up to people. Look! All around the retreat. I am just, don't mind me, I'm carrying a toy. Going to church, carrying my toy.
I want it. It's cute. It softens my Podiversary colorway.
Just walk down the church carrying a toy. It's okay. They won't notice.
Nope. I have to be careful of the little kids there, though.
Yep.
All right, we're blathering. Please feel free to stop into the various threads, say hello, introduce yourself.
I'm actually caught up right now, which will not last for long, I'm sure. I'm really caught up for long.
Then what do we have on the? Do I owe people on the last? I thought I got caught up, and then I thought you.
You might see mine.
Maybe. But anyway, just feel free to say hello if you're new. Invite your friends. We'd love to have people join us for our knit-alongs, crochet-alongs, just talking.
Yep.
So thank you for stopping by and spending this time with us, and we hope to see you again next week. Until then, this is Pen Hook and Needles episode 59. Saying goodbye, happy knitting and crochet. God bless.